Just throwing it out there. It would pick up a lot of terrible things, but
Oh, horrible
that's
ones
just
that I
the
would
the
need to
nature of the
delete
beast at that point.
immediately. I would need to
So
delete immediately.
yeah. How much
Or you could turn them into a short.
yeah. How many that makes you wonder how many bad things have been said like around camera equipment that's just been like off in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Like when the cameras like the 5 seconds right before a scene.
And
Like I wonder how
surround
much
voice.
awful shit was
Better
said between
question.
two
Can't
people who
count it.
hate themselves.
You
But
can't.
then like the camera rolls and like you're working and then you do your scene and you're like, yeah, fuck this guy. You think that happens a lot?
Better question. How
Yeah.
many
Yeah.
times has a hot mic picked something up like Brenneman, uh, but they never aired it?
Yeah. Even better.
There's
Yeah.
a
Oh my
and
God. Like
there's a
like
deep
people in the
shot
box
by
hearing it like holy
Castellanos.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That would be insane too. Like hearing something you're not supposed to hear me, like I could keep this and ruin lives. Or I'll cut it and be fine and keep my job and live in secrecy. That is something, yeah. Glad it's not me. Glad it's not me with those decisions to make. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Am I missing anything here?
Probably not.
Don't ruin it.
I can't read. I need better
You really
glasses.
like here's the thing, Tybo. I saw that and when he mentioned the vibes you give off, I totally agree with that. I do
Who?
think the
Wait,
yellow
what?
tint I do think the yellow tint would look so much better, but right now you're also giving off Narcos Mexico vibes.
Narcos.
Again, no tint. More tint equals more money laundering. If those are like blackout sunglasses, you're like, watch out for that guy. He's Scarface. See-through glasses could be a librarian. Also,
Librarian.
also could be
It
like
gives off
ripping off people in his neighborhood for like
that's I was
a
gonna go with
sundry
it.
items.
It's like he definitely looks like there's Narcos Mexico in there, but also could go uh like open up the chest a little bit more. Greek guy who rips off his neighbors.
Greek?
I'm the chain is
Yeah,
keeping this part of the shirt from flopping out right now.
he's
So
got the hairy chest in there.
Embrace the
I see him
flop.
popping
it's leave me alone.
out. But we're not monetized yet. It's
Boo.
totally fine.
Boo this man. Boo this man.
Let
Boo.
out the chest pubes, dude.
Hey, are
I
we gonna get a top
meticulously
five
put it
from
this
you
way.
anytime soon, buddy?
Oh, he came unprepared. To guarantee that's not happening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
know he
mean,
doesn't have one ready.
I
He might have one by the end of the show.
Listen, we need something for every single one of these breakdown shows.
Yeah.
Tybo, make it a top five of something in relation to all eight. Well, since you won't have one today, unless you can think of one, all seven of the other divisions that we're doing.
Because
I
I
could
mean, you know,
I could
it's
get it
just gonna
done
be
with this
great.
division. I
Yeah.
could. There's already one coming to mind right now.
Oh
Okay,
boy.
perfect,
Perfect.
wonderful.
I'll
You
make a
let me
list
know when you have that.
at the end of the show.
At the end of the show,
End of the
we'll end with the
show.
Tybo's top five,
We're
guys.
ending with the
Ending with the Tybo's
top
top
five.
five.
I
Hold
am
your
excited.
horses.
There, it is not
Yeah.
often we can get Tybo excited about his own top five. It is often that we can't get him to stop droning on. So I hope he keeps it nice and tight here. But
I disagree. I want a classic Tybo's top five rant.
Okay.
oh wow, just don't
Wow.
drone on. Give us some excitement.
Don't drone on.
Un, Unlike well, or
Don't
maybe
sound
like
like
this
this the
division.
whole time. The
Have
Yeah,
you
top
that's
seen
top five.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
No.
awful movie.
Fuck. I know it's an
I've
awful
seen
movie.
lots of things from the movie from
Have you seen
different
the clip of the
videos and
teacher
clips.
lecturing? Don't be like that teacher.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can be like that
Bueller,
teacher
Voodoo
sometimes.
economics. Anyone
Bueller.
voodoo economics. Yeah, don't be that guy. Don't be like that.
I'll try not to
All right.
because it's happened before.
Mm.
Yeah, I need you to be more exciting. Kind of like this division we're about to talk about. Usually we
I'm not
start off
excited
with the
about.
ones. I mean, we're not. We're
That's
not.
why we're doing them
Dave.
first. That's why we're doing them
I
first, so
don't
we
know,
I
have
think
no
dude.
we're doing
guest.
it. No,
That's
no, we're not doing that. There are some other ones that we definitely are not excited about. This one, I think there's some exciting things. I mean, the AFC North has just had a ton of movement today alone, not including what they've done over the last couple of months, uh, mainly coming out of Pittsburgh. They've traded away Minka Fitzpatrick and a 7th round pick. They got back, or a 5th round pick. They got back a
So
7th and got Jonnu Smith. They got Jalen Ramsey, and they've also brought in Aaron Rodgers to be at the helm.
I
We don't need to get into their breakdown yet, but there's been some movement there. You got Cincinnati. They have yet to sign their 1st round pick. Trey Hendrickson is still sitting out. Cleveland, who really cares about them? Baltimore, they cut Justin Tucker, who's been suspended for 10 games. Like there's some exciting things to look forward to out of the AFC North.
yeah,
so exciting. Well, I mean, the Ravens are still the Ravens. I mean, I assume they're gonna play good football like they did last year. Um, they're probably gonna fuck it up in the playoffs at some point because it's just the Ravens. Except unless it's that one year that Ed Reed and fucking Ray Lewis and all the things.
Kyle Hamilton is not Ed Reed.
No, he's not.
That's fair. They did.
No, he's
Who
not.
else did they just bring?
That's a
They
pretty
just
fair
brought in
assumption
Jair
too. I
Alexander.
don't even think that's really like a
They
hot
did
take.
just bring in Jair Alexander though. Like there's some exciting.
Which
There's a little bit of exciting things going on.
Aging, but either way, yes.
can't play
So is
football.
Jalen.
He can't play football?
He can play for like 4 or 5 games, but he can't play football. He's played a minuscule amount of games the past 3 seasons.
He gets suspended by the team a lot too. Don't forget that.
Oh
it's
yeah,
not
he's an
all
attitude
injury.
guy.
It's mostly
Add some attitude to that
injury.
locker room. That might do it though. You need some crazy motherfuckers. He might be the crazy motherfucker
when
they
he's
need.
on the field. Yes, they will greatly improve that defense, but it won't be long lived, and you won't see Jair Alexander play in the playoffs.
No, but the worst defense is going to go to the Bengals though, because they have a shit defense,
100%.
and it's going to continue to be shit.
And a shit offensive line.
Yeah, just a shit team all around.
The trio of Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Joe Burrow is a pretty fearsome trio. But if you don't have an offensive line and you don't have a defense that can stop people from scoring points, it don't matter. You're about to not have somebody that can get sacks for you. So
yeah, you're about to lose. Did they sign did they sign Hendrickson or Trey Hendrickson?
No,
they still haven't signed him either.
Yeah.
Or the first round holdout. The Bengals don't deserve to win.
That's what I just said.
No, it's bad. It's bad news.
I thought you were meaning one of the other ones, Bo. I didn't think you meant both of them. But yeah, both of them.
Who's the other one?
Their first round pick.
Oh, I mean, it's a rookie. I mean, you're not going to get the same production out of the rookie that you got out of Trey Hendrickson.
No, you're not. But I think D-line is definitely one of those positions where rookies tend to have really good standout years at, just because, at the end of the day, playing D-end or playing DT, you're playing within the scheme, but it's a lot of see ball, get ball. If you're naturally gifted and like a legit first round pick, like you should probably have like a decent first year. I would
Don't forget I
think D-line is like there's a better opportunity for that at
adding that to Trey Hendrickson though. Like it wouldn't be just instead of you're about to lose Trey Hendrickson and only have that rookie right now. Like it doesn't.
Right now you have none. If you play tomorrow, you have none of them.
Cincinnati, because Tommy, you should know this more than the rest. Not only have they yet to sign Shamar Stewart, their first round draft pick, and they have yet to re-sign or extend Trey Hendrickson. They also got rid of Pratt, who's now where? In Vegas, your favorite team.
Yep.
Your team is probably better than Cincinnati at the moment.
We've made a lot of moves, but we're not talking about the West, so
not yet.
We can move on. We can move on. But I do think, however, though, just like the way the Bengals are ran from the top down, they don't deserve to win. They don't deserve to win. And if you are a Bengals fan, I would demand for everyone to be fired. Like, this is ridiculous.
The formula is going to make for some exciting football. Like Joe Burrow is going to make some cool touchdown passes. Jamar Chase is going to run a lot, but they're not going to win a lot of games. They won't win in the playoffs with what they have.
They have the explosivity of like possibly putting up like a 50-point game on like a Thursday night against a lesser opponent. Maybe it's even a shootout because their defense is going to fucking suck at this point. So we could get like a Rams Chiefs type Thursday night, Monday night game out of them this year, but that's all I really see from the Bengals at this point.
I'll ask this. I mean, Tybo, you're not wrong. Joe Burrow does go out there and like he slings the rock a little bit. He has some exciting touchdowns. But the best ability for a player is availability, and that
Yep.
guy is never on the field. Is he going to be
Well,
available
no,
for the
never.
full
I
season?
mean,
Probably. He plays through small stuff. I mean,
yeah.
he's like a
I mean, dude, like barring,
he's
yeah,
a
like a
tough
massive
guy.
injury.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's only played a full season once in his career, twice.
is he not just coming off of a full season?
Well, he didn't.
Uh,
His first season, he played 5 games or six
he's never
games or
played
something
less
like
than
that.
10 games in his career. He's
Yeah.
played okay, yeah, he did have a full season this year.
I was gonna do.
He
I was
did
like, I feel like we've talked about this. He has
Damn, Ty
played
Bob. I'm
he had a
gonna
quite a
full
I'm
season
gonna
bit
in the
of
I'll
past
fine
football.
year.
you for
Yeah,
that. I will. Yeah,
yeah, that's a
He's got
fine.
multiple
That's
he's got
fine.
multiple seasons where he hasn't played a full season.
that's true.
What do you
But he
So
just
does
came
half
off
of
of them.
the NFL, bro. Like,
mean? When he
come on.
plays a full season, he comes back and he doesn't play a full season.
Jair Alexander's record is worse. A track
Well,
record with
he's also
injuries.
not
So
also not an impactful player like a quarterback.
he's pretty impactful on the defense.
Yeah, he hasn't thrown an interception in the Super Bowl, but he's an impactful player. Yeah, yeah.
The DB that caught the interception is probably an impactful player as well.
Oh, very.
You wouldn't say?
Well, Aaron, you forget Aaron Donald was on his ass.
Yeah.
Like,
Also an impactful player.
very
Probably
impactful.
the most impactful defensive player.
Yeah, I would agree. That's a good statement. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh.
It was there. Had to take it. Had to
Ty
take it.
Bob, you have the question written down, and or not question. It looks more like a statement.
It is a statement.
Andy Dalton is better than Joe Burrow.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I, I do like that. We were talking about this at work, what, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Um, you take
Suck
the
it,
first
Bengals
five
fans.
seasons. I think I'm taking Andy Dalton.
You
First
think?
5 seasons. I think I'm taking Andy Dalton, man. Like he went 5 for 5 in the playoffs. He played every single game. He didn't have near the weapons that Joe Burrow has. Not anywhere
What do you
close.
mean he went 5 for 5 in the playoffs?
For the playoff, he went 5 years, 5 playoff trips.
What's his record in the playoffs?
Yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I'm listen. Don't worry about that. He still took you 5 times. What's Joe Burrow done?
I
He took you
mean, I
once,
think there might be an
twice. One
argument.
time
There
you made the
might be an
playoff.
argument. Andy Dalton with the two receivers that Joe Burrow has right now, but like the Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase have like an insane connection. They played together before, and it
Yeah,
just
it's cool. Like they suck each other's dicks. That's whatever.
yeah.
But like the
But
thing is though, I I
they're
I
also
get where
better receivers
Tyler's
than what Andy Dalton was working with, and
I,
I think Jamar Chase is better than AJ Green. So
that's cool, but dude, the red rocket, bro. The red rifle.
I thought it was the Red Rifle.
It's whatever you
Both,
want
you
it
can say whatever, dude.
Yeah,
Just gotta have red the name.
carrot top motherfucker. It doesn't matter, dude. Whatever you want, bro. But no, he was legit, and I think I just think if you take away the Super Bowl run that they went on,
I don't even think,
he's either lost to the Chiefs in the
or he
playoffs,
hasn't made
or
the
he hasn't
playoffs.
finished a season.
No, he finished this full last season. They
AFC
didn't even make the
Championship
playoffs. What
game
are we talking
Or they
or
about?
a
missed the
loss in the
playoffs in
Super Bowl.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
exactly.
He doesn't make the
I mean,
playoffs.
that's pretty.
I would say, like, yeah, you made the Super Bowl. Leave that in there, and you made the AFC
I'd
championship
say
game.
that's
Still,
better
like,
than going 5 years straight and not having a win to show for it.
I don't think it is when you pay your receiver the most money a receiver has ever made, which
I'm
is
not
quarterback money,
well. We're
and you
talking
pay your
about Andy
quarterback that
Dalton
much money.
versus Joe Burrow here. We're not talking about the entire organization right now. But like, I
Yeah,
will
I
agree that they're in a shitty situation now because of what they
I'd
like
throw this out there.
constructed. Like,
You give Andy Dalton, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon against the competition that he had to go against, and Ed Reed, in James Harrison, and Ray
Like I think you
Lewis.
have
You give him
an
all of that,
argument there, but I don't think that
and
makes Andy
he's
Dalton
winning a
better.
Super Bowl.
I don't.
And I think Andy Dalton, hey,
Wow.
5 for 5
No.
against the competition
What?
defensively that he had to go against. Give me Andy Dalton. Taking him.
No.
I can see
Give me
where
the
Tyler's
red
coming
rifle.
from a statistical standpoint, but yeah, I just think
I think
Joe.
you have an interesting argument.
Yeah,
Like I do think that Andy Dalton, he does not win a Super Bowl with Jamar Chase and T Higgins and Joe Mixon.
the
He
only
does
way
not have
Andy
that in
Dalton
there.
would ever win a Super Bowl is if he pulled like a Nick Foles and came in backup to help his team win a Super Bowl. That's the only like version of Andy Dalton's life where he wins a Super Bowl. That's the only version of it.
I'm
If
also
you're
a
a
realist.
Man,
multiverse theory person.
I don't think
reducing Andy Dalton to Nick Foles, I feel like is going to piss off a lot of Bengals fans. Dude. That's it.
Yeah.
But Nick Foles
I
got a
also don't
ring,
think
so
I also don't think
Nick Foles has a
I also
statue.
that's true. I'm also a proponent of like I think Joe is overhyped. He does some cool things. Like
I
he's
don't
good
know.
in front
He's
of the
pretty good.
media. He's good in front of the media. He's pretty good, but like hasn't really like
that doesn't the
missed
media
the
shit doesn't
playoffs a
have
lot.
anything to do with what
Yeah,
I feel
Yeah,
like
I
he
don't
is as
think
a
here,
that
player.
that
dude.
makes
Like
him
I don't.
look
And
cool, but like
here's where I
being
feel. Here's where I
surrounded
feel for
by the
Tyler.
top.
Hold up, man. Here's where I feel for Tyler is because, um, for a fan like me and my team, 5 straight years making the playoffs is a win. If you told me starting this year the Raiders would make the playoffs every single year, that would make me happy as a fan. That would make me happy.
Okay,
However,
question:
if
would
you're
you
the
give that
fucking
all away
Pittsburgh
for one
Steelers,
trip to the Super Bowl? Not even talking about the AFC Championship game. Would you
no,
give
dude, I
five
don't
years
want to take.
straight?
I've seen the Dodgers lose in the World Series, bro. I don't want to see my team lose in the fucking championship. If we go, we gotta win. I can't deal with that shit, dude. I can't deal with it. It kills me.
Okay.
So I'd way rather just go to the playoffs and be like, yeah, we're a playoff team. Go fuck yourself. We're not the worst. Than like going once and being like, oh, remember that one time we almost won like 10 years down the road? Like, fuck that shit. That's so lame.
I, I like telling a good story about it. You remember that one time we almost won? Remember
Yeah,
that
we
one
was both
time
at
we had
that
hope?
bond. We got all fucked up. And
Remember
then
that
like,
one time we had hope?
and then when I drove home drunk and got that DUI, like, yeah, yeah, no, I don't want to be that
I
guy.
was
So
so
I'd rather
far.
just take the 5 playoff trips in 5 years. I'll take that.
Okay.
Fuck it.
I'd say this about Joe
Pussy.
Burrow too. Like
That's fine.
little
Sure.
overrated. Little overrated.
Hey,
He's
if I
been
had asked you that
surrounded.
fucking 15 years ago, 20 years ago about the Chiefs, you would have taken that shit too. Don't
I'd have
ever
taken the
forget where the
five
fuck
playoff
you're
trips.
from.
I,
Pieces of shit.
You're not wrong.
dude, I have experience going to the playoff and losing at enough at that point. I was still like, I'll take a trip to the Super Bowl, man. We got a chance. You remember that? You remember that one time we had hope?
I'd rather take a little bit of hope for a
2019.
long period of time than just like a boatload of it all at once for it to all
Here it
just
is.
be drained.
Stretch it
by
out.
the-
Stretch it out.
You want your hope? You got it.
Yeah, no,
Here it
just
is.
give me like string me out like I'm on fucking drugs. Just string it out for 5 years. Just a little bit at a time. I'll take that.
Wee bit.
Yeah.
Oh man. But I'll say this about Joe. I think he's a little overrated, man. He's been surrounded by extreme talent. I'm not saying he's not good by any means. I think the reason why I put Andy Dalton right there is because I don't have Joe all the way up here where everyone else has him. When he's been surrounded by immense talent
Can I say
wherever
that
he
about
has
Patrick
gone.
Mahomes though too? Because every
MVS
time you
is
guys
immense
lose in the
talent.
Super Bowl, it's like, oh, we don't have a good offensive line. Oh, we don't have a this. Oh, we didn't have a that.
He won with MVS as a number one receiver, so I'll go ahead and stop you there.
Oh,
But like,
someone's mad. He
look,
also had Tyreek Hill. Like, take it easy.
no,
I mean,
no, he won without Tyreek and MVS being number
Yeah,
one.
but he did also win. So like, go
he
fuck
did
yourself.
also win with Tyreek. Yes.
Well, like what
Separate
Joe do before his senior year at LSU? He was a perpetual four-string quarterback at Ohio State. He plays a horrible year in his junior year, They win like 4 total games, maybe. And then he wins a national championship carried by Justin Jefferson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Jamar
What a like a
Chase,
shitty
the best,
Wikipedia clip
the
note version
best,
of Joe Burrow's
def-
career did you just
the
give? You're such a
best
piece of shit.
defensive squad that the college football has ever seen. And then he goes to the NFL and he gets who? Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Joe Mixon, like just perpetually covered
bro.
by surrounded by
Yeah,
the
I mean,
best
you
Some would say
sound
talent
that's
you
like the
could ever
greatest
get.
college football season in the history of college
Yeah,
football.
and guess
that's
what?
not
He was
true. It's
carried
not.
the
I'm
Not
just
entire
saying
even
way
close.
there.
some say that.
It's not even
I
close.
know there's people out there that full
And if
heartedly
you say
believe
that,
that
guess what?
their
He is
season is the best
surrounded by
season of college
Hall of
football.
Famers left and
That's
right, offense and
insane.
defense.
That's not
Carried,
true.
hard carried, backpacked. Some
The
would say.
greatest team in ever is the 1899
Somebody's got to throw him
Swanee
the ball, dude.
Tigers.
Like, I mean,
You could have done it at that point. You could have done it at that point.
Oh, please. You got torn in half the first time some guy from Georgia hit you. Just
Give me anybody.
I don't
yeah,
want to
no,
brace
I mean like
myself.
that's a decent argument, but also like who cares about all the past? Like
Who
he's fucking
cares?
yeah.
Who
Cincinnati
cares
fans.
about the past, dude? Come on.
You don't want to be like that guy. Remember that one time? You don't want to be that guy. So Cleveland's also kind of fucked too. Because Deshaun Watson
They're
was
in
like,
a
hey, I'll take you under my wing.
to
And Sanders
yeah.
was like, no.
Did he say no? Did he say no? I think
No, I hope he did. I hope that's how it went.
I
He'd be like, "Yeah, I'll teach you a thing or two." It's like I don't
I
want your
hope that's the
help.
answer. But then he was
Thanks,
also pulled over going
but no.
112 in like a 40. So
Yeah.
don't
Who?
know if Shadur
Oh
was pulled
yeah.
over
Well,
going
that's
112.
that's just young
So
kids being young kids.
Did he kill anybody?
Did he Henry Ruggs somebody?
Did
I
he
was
do
going to
that?
ask that question. Didn't know if you wanted to go there, Tommy.
I
No,
mean,
didn't know how far you wanted to go there.
Bro, I swear to God,
yeah,
when
own it.
Don't do that.
insane segue to back to Baltimore, but when that deal went down, I think the Pat McAfee show was playing a bunch of clips of Jalen Ramsey just dogging um Henry Ruggs in like a game, I think. Just dogging him.
Why does that go back to Baltimore? What are we taught?
Because he was on the TV and the Pat McAfee show was just playing clip after clip of like him picking off like passes to
He's
Henry Ruggs and
he's
like stripping the
going
ball against the Raiders. I was like, what's
he's going
going
to
on here? Like
Pittsburgh.
what type of smear campaign is this?
Yeah.
What the
Buddy.
fuck?
You mean Pittsburgh, buddy?
He's going to Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, that's right. Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
That
that's a
segue.
fine.
Pittsburgh. Not
Yeah,
Baltimore. My bad.
bad segue because we were
Yeah,
also talking
I
about
saw
Cleveland.
Baltimore. I saw Baltimore, but we're yeah, Stillers. We already talked about Baltimore. That's on me.
We were also talking about Cleveland.
Yeah, that's true,
Hardly.
but fuck Cleveland. I was gonna segue into Pittsburgh.
I mean,
I don't want to segue into Pittsburgh.
Fuck Cleveland.
I want to make
dude.
fun of the quarterback room in Cleveland for a little bit longer.
all right.
Let's have
We
some
can make
fun,
fun of the
Tommy.
quarterback.
Jeez.
We can make fun of the quarterback.
Because it's
Sorry.
that's I mean that's what I'm most excited about in this division. Brian Windhorst it. That's what I'm most excited about in this division is the Cleveland quarterback room and who plays well, if anybody. Because they're going to try multiple. They're going to try all five at some point. I believe, full-heartedly believe they're going to try all five at some point.
We've got Deshaun, who had the Achilles tear, so he'll be back maybe by the end of the season. They have Joe Flacco, right? Is that who's in there? So they've got.
I have no idea.
I know they have Dylan Gabriel. I know they have Shadur. Did they take what's his nuts who used to play for Pittsburgh?
Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel,
Kenny Pickett. Yep, there we go.
Shadur Sanders,
There's the
Deshaun
five.
Watson.
So Deshaun
My vote
may be
is for
back
Kenny
by the
Two
end of the
Gloves.
season.
I want
Insane.
Kenny Pickett to have a resurgence in Cleveland and just take him to a real mid like 8 and 9.
He's going to be their starter, right?
That's who I'm
At the beginning of
for.
the season?
Apparently, what I read is that Joe Flacco is listed as the starter right now.
I mean, that's fair. Okay.
That's
Him to
insane.
Joe. I don't fully
Camp
disagree
hasn't
with
started
that.
yet. We'll see. You think Shadur wins it in camp? Maybe. Probably not. But okay.
I've got him
know.
stashed
This
away
is
on
just
the
the time of
taxi
year,
squad
bro.
in
This
Dynasty,
is
so I wish him nothing but luck.
this is the time of year where like everybody just has hope for their team. They're like, "Oh, we made these moves," or it's the opposite. We didn't do shit. What the fuck? We're gonna suck. It's either that or it's like, "Oh, we made some moves. We might be good this year." Blah, blah. You got people saying like the Raiders are gonna go 13 like wins and shit like that. You just got people thinking like out of their mind crazy shit. Like Shedeur Sanders could win the job like that. Like that's fucking nuts. He's not gonna win the job. They're gonna give it to horny
He's
man
got a
Deshaun
shot in that
Watson.
bunch. I
That's
do
who they're
think he
gonna
has a
give it
shot.
to.
I
Huh?
I'm willing
He
to
does
bet
have a
he can
shot.
make. I'm willing to bet he
Well,
can
yeah, he's
make
got a
some
shot.
exciting plays happen that are like on a slightly better tier than the rest of the quarterbacks in that room. But I am still at the end of the day pulling for Kenny Pickett.
Well, and so what? They got rid of Nick Chubb, who just signed in Houston. So they don't
They
have
got
a
a good
they've got
rookie running back.
well, they have Ford. They have I think it's Jerome Ford from the last couple of years, who's played well, but mainly as a backup until this past year, where didn't have that great of a season as a number one running back. They don't have a receiver.
Yeah, they got
Uh,
Quinshon Judkins out of
yeah, that
Wait,
Ohio State.
yeah, he'll probably end up being the
Judkin.
starter. They don't have a
He
receiver
won
though.
me
Like,
money. That's true.
not really worried about their receiving core. Defensively, didn't really do a whole lot other than re-sign Miles Garrett. And also, what are you doing, Miles Garrett? You wanted to leave and
Money
said that money
talks,
wasn't
bro.
an
Money.
option, and then money started talking.
Oh man.
Feel like you could have
Sold his
got
soul to the
close to
devil.
that elsewhere.
He leveraged his way into a contract. It happens all the time.
I mean that fair, but
Sold
also
his soul to the devil in Cleveland, whoever that is.
I mean,
you've made your money. I feel like he could have gotten close to that somewhere else where they could have where he could have been a winner instead of a perpetual loser.
Who knows? What if Cleveland wins this year?
Stop.
I still think
No one can say that with a straight face.
I think he'll get over 15 sacks.
Sure. He's
Okay.
Miles Garrett. What are we talking about here?
Does that equate? How many wins does that equate to?
That's a
Doesn't matter.
fucking
Doesn't
aperitif.
matter.
That's an appetizer for
Win
Miles
total doesn't
Garrett.
matter at that
Zero.
point. Get some sacks. Get your highlights. Get your money.
I don't know. He's probably gonna be
Get
like
your money.
he's a Hall of Famer.
He's close, but I don't know. He's a
He needs a
really,
couple
really
more
good
good
player.
years. He needs a couple more years.
He's really good, dude. He really is like really good. At least I think he is. I don't know.
Uh, can you
He's
find anybody to say he's
Cleveland
not?
Hall of Fame, like Cleveland Ring of Honor.
Oh,
for
you think
sure.
they hang his jersey? Oh man, that's tough. That's tough.
Annually. Like,
As long as the elf is still the logo in the middle of their field, they're not going to win anytime soon.
what do they need to They need to go back to the brown helmets. What do you think?
I think they need to go back to
Do
yeah,
they
just
need a new
all.
logo overall?
No, I don't think they need a new logo. I think they need the old school all brown with just the orange, and then it says Browns in orange with the white face mask. I think that's what they got to go back to.
Interesting.
Yep.
Can't really
I,
picture
I,
that one in my head. I don't.
feel like
I've seen
they
that
should
one.
go with the bulldog at this point. You got the fans of the dog pat. You might as well just
Oh, maybe.
go with the dog.
Yeah. You go with those old Bernie Kosar helmets. White face mask. I'm talking white face mask or gray face mask.
I think if Cleveland was looking for real change, they would go at completely new logo. I think they need to reinvent themselves and
Because the real Browns are technically the
do something
Ravens.
inventive and creative with Browns.
I would ditch it completely because again, the real Browns are technically the Ravens. So fuck that. Just change it up, dude. Change it up.
I don't think you can say that, Tabo.
What do you mean?
Wait, what did you say?
Just appealing to Browns everywhere.
Oh.
What?
I don't think you can say that.
Oh God.
I
What
don't.
the fuck, man?
All right.
This is the family show. This is a family
Yo,
show.
you're one to talk.
You want to talk.
Wow.
What are you looking forward to most about the division? Nothing, really.
You know what? Yeah, I'm looking forward to see. I mean, yeah, but you know what? Aaron Rodgers. What can he do for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Like
One last ride,
Baltimore,
baby.
we know what they can do. We know that they're going to run the ball and they can't necessarily pass the ball very well. We'll see if Zay Flowers decides to step it up, but I'm excited most to see what the Steelers can do. I don't
Stillers.
believe in Aaron Rodgers, but they bring in Jalen Ramsey to bolster that defense. Minka Fitz is out, where a lot of fans had some complaints about the effort that Minka was bringing to the team
Yeah.
last year. I don't know if he was really to blame. It was probably a scheme issue, but I think Jalen Ramsey actually leaves the cornerback position and he now plays safety and can be that little roaming role that they want. He's got a little bit more speed there. The real test is going to be, is Aaron Rodgers actually going to step it up? Last year, he had some good stats after they were down by 40 every game and were already knocked out of the playoffs. Can he actually do it with a good defense?
I think you
So, like,
can.
do you think they've built a good enough team around? Like, the wide receiver room is completely different. They let go of Najee Harris and brought in Caleb Johnson, who they are hoping,
They
expecting
still
to
have
be
Jalen Warren.
better.
Don't forget, Artie Smith is the OC, who's where he should be, is as an OC. Like,
But Fryermuth is slept on. He's like a classic tight end target that I felt like Aaron Rodgers could have had a some sort of a connection with. But then bringing in Jonnu Smith, that kind of you open up a lot of possibilities with that type of personnel that I think Aaron Rodgers could thrive with. But do you think they've built a good enough team around him to do? Because I think at the very least he'll be better protected than he was in New York, but you have a whole plethora of scary weapons on the
a
defensive side of the
slew
ball. So yeah, a slew,
of
a
weapons.
plethora.
Just throwing adjectives.
That
Dude,
was
No,
that
pretty
is
I
harsh.
totally agree
thesaurus
though.
today.
I think Aaron Rodgers has one more good hard last ride in him, and he's gonna get it done for Pittsburgh. I think they're probably it's either them or Baltimore as the favorites, in my opinion. Like I don't see,
Baltimore are definitely the favorites.
yeah,
I don't. I think personnel wise, the Steelers have you know a decent hand going. I think they lack a little bit in the receiver position. Can they make up with that by having a two-headed monster at tight end with Johnny Smith and Pat Fryermuth?
they
And
Maybe.
that's
still got to
where
sign
Artie,
It's
T.J.
all about
Watt
the
though.
scheme.
They
It's
still got to
all
sign
about the
T.J.
scheme.
Watt.
You don't think they're going to sign
that's a
TJ
big
Watt?
piece.
I'm not saying they're not gonna. They just haven't done it yet. That's a fact. They have not
And
signed him
he's
yet.
he's also on a holdout. Yeah. And I think you're 100% right, Tybo, with the wide receiver room. All you have is DK Metcalf and Robert Woods. Robert Woods isn't ever really available.
Aging,
You aging
aging Robert
and
Woods.
rarely available.
That's
Uh,
harsh but true.
so then you're left with who? Calvin Austin or Ben Skronik? Like I'm not. They're gonna have to go 12-man personnel the whole
Why
season, and
not?
you also bring in Jonnu Smith, who's aging. Is he going to be available for
Use him
every
as like
game?
a beefy slot.
You're going to have to. It's
Beefy
it's not
slot.
going to be great. It's not going to be great. They're not going to be
Put
passing a
something
whole
down here,
lot.
beefy slot.
Easy.
Whoa.
Did you just fart, dude? That's
I
gotta
just
be a
farted.
fine.
That was
What
my
was that
that
noise?
was my mouth. That was
Oh, oh, that's still a
I'm
fine.
just uh,
I did it
wow.
was silent. I didn't hear nothing on my end.
Sound like some elephant went off or something like that. We'll
Uh
check the audio.
Ty Bob just farted and he said it came from his mouth. That's pretty gross.
Yeah, he probably did. Piece of
That's
shit.
nasty.
God damn
I'll,
you.
I'll I'm excited to see what happens. I think more so about how this is going to fail horribly with
What
Aaron Rodgers.
the
I
Steelers
think
thing?
Is it is
I
it
think
No.
if it's a failure, is it Mike Tomlin's last year as head coach?
Yes.
should be, won't be because they did just extend
Yeah,
him. Aaron
he's
is
untouchable. No one can
If
touch Mike Tomlin. He's not gonna
you
get
know what I
fired.
say to a nice contract, rip it up, bitch.
the fire.
You're
No,
fired.
Mike
Uh,
Tomlin's gonna stay there until he doesn't want to be there, and he's gonna leave.
Aaron Rodgers will not be the quarterback, nor will he be on the team after week 8 of the NFL season. Mike
Someone write that
Tomlin
down. Someone write
has
that
his
down.
first losing season in his career.
I'm writing this down. I hope you know.
Please do.
I'm writing
Please
this
do.
down.
Please do. We'll revisit it at the end of the year. When we'll revisit it in week 9 when it happens.
Week 9 when it happens.
Well, I said after week 8, so would be week 9.
Would
Wait,
be.
what?
After week
I don't think
8,
you said that
Aaron
correctly.
Rodgers.
And what did you say? Mike Tomlin gets fired?
No, it's the first
Oh,
season in his
yeah.
career with a losing season because he's always gone either 500 or above. He's never had a losing season. You cannot have a 500 season anymore
Yeah, I know.
unless you
I
have a
can
tie.
fucking count,
So
buddy.
you surprise me sometimes.
I'm just fucking making sure I get exactly what you said. What's the date? Oh, 7-1.
7-1, July 1st.
Yeah. Happy Bobby
Happy
Bonilla Day.
happy first day of 4th of July.
Oh, oh, brother, where I live, it's been the 4th of July since like last weekend.
As
Yeah,
soon as the
they've been
fireworks
popping off
stands
over
were out.
here. They've been popping off
Oh,
around here.
brother.
Yeah.
Um, Alrighty, I got that down. That's written. It's on a sticky note.
Thanks. No,
Can't wait to see
no
that in
other.
like 10 months and be like, wow,
I've,
that wasn't accurate.
or wow, this guy can see the future. Should have put a bet on it.
Um, that was your bet right there. I just held you accountable. That's the bet, me holding you accountable.
FanDuel,
Oh, someone's angry.
DraftKings.
FanDuel, DraftKings. Maybe take that. Maybe not. I don't know. But I do know that on a betting site that is not to be named because no free shout outs, the Ravens are the favorites at minus 140. Then it's the Bengals at plus 230. Then the Steelers at plus 500 and Cleveland plus 3,000 to win the AFC North.
I'm surprised that the Bengals are so high up there.
Yeah, I
I
don't think
get
the
it.
state of Ohio is going to be very good at football this year from a NFL standpoint.
I just don't foresee Burrow being able to stay healthy behind that offensive line um, this season. It's just not going to be good.
What if you do it in like reverse? What if you just like start a backup for like the first like 5 games and like limp through 5 games and then turn it on after that with your starter and see how far you
Guys,
can go?
oh, damn. Yeah. Damn.
Because instead of like going a whole season, instead of playing like 10, 12 games with one guy and then he gets hurt and then you got a new guy, start the new guy, the guy you're going to bench all year, start with him, get all you can get out of him, and then start your starter later to
All
get like
right.
the best out of him later in the season.
I'm ready for my top 5, guys.
Could be the
We're
move.
not at the end of the show.
God
Yeah,
damn
dude,
it.
quit jumping
Let's
ahead.
hold it.
God, you
Jeez, man.
mother.
Come on.
God,
We've got a script right here. We haven't
We've got a
fully
script. We have
reviewed.
not been following the script.
No,
We've been
dude, I
saying
can't really
random
get mad
things
at him,
off
dude.
of the
I've
script.
derailed this thing like 3 times.
We've been saying random things off the script.
Yeah, I've been an asshole.
Yeah.
I can't get mad at him. I can laugh at him though.
I have
I
2
do.
honorable mentions, guys.
All right, good. We'll get there.
Congratulations. We're talking about who's going to win the
We'll
fucking
get
division.
there.
The
Did you even hear the
Baltimore
odds?
Ravens.
Did you hear the
The
odds I gave
Baltimore
you?
Ravens are going to win the division,
You think so?
hands down.
Minus 140.
Barring like major injuries to a bunch of their key players, like the
Knock on
Baltimore
wood.
Ravens will win the division.
Ravens. Alrighty.
Even if Jair Alexander only plays 4 games.
Even if Jair Alexander only plays 4 games. Yeah.
The combination
Maybe.
of Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry is pretty good for a regular season football team.
You think that's it? You think the Ravens aren't that good in the playoffs?
Lamar Jackson doesn't have the best winning percentage in the playoffs.
He doesn't.
All right, then who goes after the Ravens? Who comes in second?
It's a crapshoot, dude. I like it could be the Bengals, but they could also have a repeat of last season. It could be the Steelers, but Aaron Rodgers isn't reliable. The Browns can like sneakily get more wins if both teams are bad. So, like,
I
I
think
would go, I would go Bengals, Steelers, Browns, but that's me.
I think that the Ravens are going to be the only team with a winning record coming out of this
Holy
division.
shit.
This is the worst NFC we're going to have seen for a long time. And I'm just
Goodness
taking an
gracious,
initial
Fine,
look.
it's the
it's
AFC.
another fine, dude.
AFC, whatever, dude. Uh,
So bad.
I'm looking at the Bengals schedule right now. And they start
Of course
off
you.
not I mean, they start off with a couple easy ones. Browns first and then the Jaguars. But then they have to play the Vikings and then the Broncos and then the Lions and the Packers. They still get the Steelers there. They get a couple easy ones between the Jets and the Bears, then back to the Steelers. They play the Patriots, Ravens, Bills, Ravens, Dolphins, and then finish off with a couple easy ones, the Cardinals and then the Browns. It's not the easiest schedule when you're lumping in the Lions, the Bills, you've got the Ravens twice. The Steelers always play them tough. They've got the Broncos and the Vikings. I don't see them having a winning season.
The Bengals?
I don't see them having
I
a winning
agree.
season.
I agree with that. I agree with that statement. I agree. So what is it? So what is it, Bob?
Even though the Steelers have a losing season, the first season in Mike Tomlin's career, I will give them second place.
Damn, so
And
you don't
then
think second place is going to have a winning record in the
I
AFC
did
North?
say that I believe the Ravens will be the only ones with a
You
winning
did.
record out of this
You
division.
did. You did.
So I will take 1 through 4: Ravens, Steelers, Bengals, Browns.
I'm okay
But
with that. I just
two
think
through
I think Joe
three,
Burrow can shock some people. So
2 through 3 do not have winning records.
I'm not going to go into like the whole record situation, but give me the fucking Pittsburgh Steelers to win the AFC North. Give me the
With
Pittsburgh
a losing
Steelers.
record. Wow.
Pittsburgh
This guy
Steelers to win
loves
the
him some Aaron
AFC
Rodgers.
North. And then give me the motherfucking Baltimore Ravens,
duh.
who get swept by the Steelers.
Do you have the Steelers winning like what, 13 games?
Dude, Aaron Rodgers' last ride. Trust me, it's going to be magical. Just wait. We're going to look back on this moment. And you're going to thank me. You're going to thank me. You're going to be crying at the Super Bowl when they do like this whole long eulogy, like someone who's dying, you know, and it's going to
So
be amazing.
Aaron Rodgers' like effectiveness relies heavily on his connection with his wide receiver one, and I don't think anything's going to be there with him and DK. So
I think it'll be
I
fine. Just wait.
I think it'll
Just wait.
implode quickly.
Well, I don't. And then probably honestly, give me the Browns and then Cincy.
Cincy in 4.
Yeah, they're gonna suck this year. They deserve to lose.
I mean, they do. They do
And we'll get
need
Sean's later.
a change at the ownership level if they want to be competitive ever again. The
Yes.
ownership is what has hindered them for their entire history and will continue to do so.
If they do well, I'm fine with it because then that means they get a worse draft pick.
They wouldn't sign him either.
That's fine. I'm happy.
That doesn't matter who they're drafting; they're not signing him.
It's okay.
Man, I can't wait. I can't wait to see if Ty Bob can tell the future or not. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be
Whose
This
fun.
future is it?
this this head is more than just shiny.
It's dumb.
No, it's not.
Big dumb shiny head.
The end. Is it the end of the show yet?
Yeah, it is, bro. Let's hear your top five.
Tybo, I'm excited. What's the theme of this? Because it has to be AFC North related. We've got Ohio, we've got Pittsburgh, we've got Baltimore. What is the theme of your top 5 here?
Um, it's football related. It's
Yeah, it's not,
Oh,
dude. You set him up way too much. I was like, "There's no way he did that. He didn't hear that. He's not doing that."
no.
this dude
I
thinks
was
inside of boxes.
my first
That's so
inclination was to do like big hitters. Um, in the AFC North, I
funny.
mean
Yeah.
Easy.
that list could be pretty deep, but I limited myself to players that I've watched. So I'm gonna go best receivers of the AFC North uh, post year 2000. And I
Okay.
have two honorable mentions. Okay, no reaction to that. Okay. I have I have two honorable mentions. My first honorable mention is Antoine Randall, played for the Steelers. Um, not necessarily because of his just his play at the receiver position, but like the return game, and he could also throw the ball. Antoine Randall was a dope player. He was kind of like Dante Hall, but like he had a different element being able to throw the ball, and he was not as fast as Dante Hall. Um, so, but like kind of like the early inclinations of like a gadget player, if you will. Antoine Randall could do like all of it. Second honorable mention, just because he's just barely off the list. Like his name was on there, then I took his name off to put somebody else's name. So my second honorable mention is AJ Green. Good receiver, quality receiver, um, one of the best in Bengals history, but not NFL history. Like he's not that great, you know. But to the list, the top
Didn't he do a
five.
front flip into the fucking end zone? Am I crazy? Was that AJ Green?
No, it was somebody else on the Bengals team. It
Are you
was.
sure?
I'm positive. It was not. I can't think of his name, but it was not.
Google AJ
Yeah.
Green.
Okay. Okay. Number 5 is Josh Gordon. The reason why he's not higher up on the list is because he really only had one season, and it wasn't even a full season. But he led the league in receiving with like 14 games in a 16 game season. So yeah, insane with terrible
Guy who
quarterbacks
could have been.
with like 3 different quarterbacks throwing in the ball,
What could
mind
have
you.
been with him? That was I amazing.
Yeah. So number 4, Steve Smith, when he played in Baltimore, still had tenacity, still had great years in Baltimore. Number 4 on my list, probably like possibly a Hall of Famer to be.
Should be.
Yeah. Number 3, Jamar Chase. Can't take anything away from the kid. I think he's really, really, really good. Number 2, Anquan Bolden. Him and Joe
Yes.
Flacco had
Yes.
him and Joe Flacco had a connection. That was out of this world. Like they were making highlight plays a lot. A lot of deep balls. Number 1 is one of my personal favorite receivers. Would always pick him in NFL Street, and sometimes specifically pick the Steelers so that I could pick him. But Hines Ward,
Oh,
yeah.
not who I thought you were going to say. I thought you
I
were going to say
yeah,
Steeler, but not Heinz Ward.
Oh, you thought I was going to say AB?
I'm
No,
surprised
no.
I don't
AB
Holmes,
like.
didn't.
I don't
Santonio
like AB.
Holmes, bro.
Oh no, not a chance. Hines Ward.
Plaxico Burris.
Hines
I think
Ward.
there's going to be a lot of hate on that list. You didn't put AB in there. You didn't.
I don't like AB. I'm not an AB fan.
Like of the person or the Pittsburgh Steeler? Because I'm a fan of the Pittsburgh Steeler, AB.
Just in general. Like
Can't separate the two.
I'll
Do you listen
take
to Michael Jackson? Can
I'll
you
take
separate?
I'll take 1 through 5 over AB.
Can you not
Tybo's a
separate
big
the
R.
artist
Kelly
from the
guy.
art?
I don't really listen to Michael Jackson. No.
He's a
I
big R.
don't.
Kelly guy though.
No, I'm not.
I don't
You know that
know.
personally. Like I stopped the DJ from playing R. Kelly.
Yeah, can't separate the art from the artist. So
Yeah.
AB doesn't make the list.
You listen to
But
Drake?
Drake.
Drake.
I like Heinz Ward. I think I'd have AB up
Wow.
there, but
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I think that's a little controversial.
It's Tybo's top 5.
It
It's
is
not,
Tybo.
it's not
Listen,
anybody else's.
if you disagree with
Tybo's
this, hit us up
Tybo's terrible
on
top
Twitter.
five.
at Bob and Bo Show. It's right there. If you're watching this, if you're listening to it, at Bob in Bo Show on Twitter, or drop a comment wherever you're hearing this. Let us know what your top five is. Let us know how wrong Tybo is.
I'm just now reading Tommy's comment.
Dude, Tommy sabotaging the show live on air or in the chat. Gotta love it. Uh we've got that's the AFC North. Somewhat exciting, not the most exciting. We've got some more exciting divisions coming up. We've got some less
I think
exciting
like
divisions coming up.
going from multiple teams being in the playoffs for a lot of years in recent memory to going to just the Baltimore Ravens probably making the playoffs. Like
Wrong.
it's a big change up in the AFC North. I mean, that's what me and Ty Bob are
Wrong.
thinking. Am I right? Like
Wrong.
Yeah, no, we're there.
everybody outside of the Baltimore Ravens, they're gonna have losing records and not make the playoffs.
I mean, I'm
Wrong.
sure Tommy agrees or not Tommy. I'm sure Sean agrees quite a bit with Tommy. We'll have to get his picks there, but Sean hasn't been the best picker of really anything.
Picker.
You're a
Order picker?
dingleberries.
He might be good at that. I don't really
Nose
know.
picker.
You bob for apples in the toilet and you like it.
Apple. I'm not sure what that means, but
all right, we're going to be having guests join us from each of these divisions as best we can.
And the show.
But we're getting the hell out of here. Good to be back. So make sure to tune in later
something
on.
Like
until next
Go
time.
Chiefs or something.
Go
or
Chiefs.
Other. Go Chiefs.
The Raiders.
Nope.